Pippin Saves the Day. One day, little Olivia and Pippin, her cute black and white dog, were out walking around the harbour in Bristol where they live. It was a cold, sunny day, and for once, there weren't many other people out and about. The harbour is a big expanse of water where there are lots of boats coming and going. As they walked alongside the harbour wall, they bumped into an old friend called Benji. Benji is a lovely old Labrador dog that belongs to Jill, the cafe owner. You'll often see him hanging around the cafe where he gets spoilt rotten with tasty bits of food from the cafe customers. And guess what? It's made him a little bit fat and a little bit slow. These days, his eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and he can't see very well, so Jill has to keep a close watch on him to make sure he doesn't wander off and get lost. "Hello, Benji. What are you doing over here?" asked Olivia. "Oh, is that Olivia?" said Benji. "Yes, it is. And my old friend Pippin too?" inquired Benji. Pippin barked in agreement and wagged her tail. "I was just having a nice slow walk. Where are you two going?" asked Benji. "We're just going for a walk around the harbour. Would you like to come with us?" asked Olivia. "Oh, that's very kind, but I'm a bit too slow for you two these days, so I think I'll stay here, thanks," said Benji. "Okay, well do be careful near the edge of the harbour wall, won't you? It's quite a drop into the water, and the water is very cold," said Olivia. "I will. I certainly don't want to go swimming this afternoon." "See you later, Benji," said Olivia as she and Pippin continued on their walk. Olivia and Pippin had only walked a short distance away when they heard a great big splash. Then they heard what sounded like a dog splashing around in the water and trying to bark. "Oh no, Pippin, that sounds like Benji has just fallen into the water," said Olivia anxiously. Pippin lifted both her ears and tilted her head, listening carefully, and then they both started running back to where they'd just left poor old Benji. "Benji, Benji, where are you?" shouted Olivia, and Pippin raced ahead, barking loudly. When Olivia reached the harbourside wall, Pippin was already peering over the edge, barking. Olivia carefully stepped nearer the edge and looked down into the water below, and there was Benji, struggling to swim in the icy cold water, and looking very frightened as there was no place near where he could easily scramble out onto the land. "It's all right, Benji, don't panic. We're going to go and get some help," said Olivia. "Please hurry. It's so cold in here," Benji grumbled. Olivia tried to think where she could get some help from. She could go home and get her mum, but that would take too long, and they were quite a long way from the cafe. "Oh dear, what should we do, Pippin?" asked Olivia. But Pippin had already darted a few yards down the harbourside wall and was now leaping up on her hind legs. She was pointing with her little paws at the red and white floating lifebuoy that was always stored there so it could be thrown to anyone who fell into the water. Olivia grabbed the lifebuoy and very sensibly, using the rope that was attached to it, gently lowered it down to poor Benji, who was getting colder and colder in the water. "Here you go, Benji. Grab hold of the lifebuoy while we go and get help," shouted Olivia. "Oh, thank you. Please hurry. I'm so cold," shivered Benji. When Olivia turned back, Pippin was frantically trying to tell her something. She was scraping her front paw on the ground and barking as if she was trying to say, "Stay here." And before Olivia could say anything, Pippin raced off as fast as Olivia had ever seen her run. "Where are you going, Pippin?" shouted Olivia. But it was too late. Pippin was off, running as fast as her little legs would carry her. Olivia stayed where she was and kept telling Benji, who was clinging onto the lifebuoy, that help would be arriving soon. She hoped it would. She thought about trying to pull Benji out of the water with the lifebuoy and rope, but he was too heavy for Olivia. Oh dear, where was Pippin? Benji was getting cold and frightened. Olivia was getting cold and worried about Benji. Please hurry, Pippin, she thought, and then kept reassuring poor old Benji that help would soon be arriving. She looked around for someone who might be able to help, but there was still no one about. So she waited and waited, and just as she was beginning to lose hope, she heard the faint sound of a boat approaching and the unmistakable bark of Pippin too. She looked out across the harbour, and there was Harry the harbour master in his boat roaring across the water at full speed, with Pippin sitting next to him barking and pointing at Olivia with her little paw. In no time, the harbour master's boat was right there in front of them, and Harry expertly slowed right down and manoeuvred close enough to Benji so he could reach down and heave the cold and frightened old dog into his boat. It took all of Harry's strength to lift big old Benji out of the water, but he did it. And as soon as Benji was safely in the boat, he had a great big shake and sprayed everyone with water. But no one minded. Everyone was happy that Benji was okay. Benji was on his hind legs, trying to give Harry a big slobbering kiss, and Pippin was tilting her head, ears up, and barking excitedly at Olivia. "Thank you, Harry," shouted Olivia. "Oh, that's all right, Olivia," said Harry. "I think Pippin deserves the thanks, though. She is such a clever dog to think to come and get me. I'll drop the dogs off back at the slipway. Come and meet us there," explained Harry, as he manoeuvred the boat back out across the harbour. "Okay," shouted Olivia, and she skipped along happily to go and meet them. She was going to give Benji a big hug for being so brave in that cold water for so long, and an even bigger hug and a kiss for Pippin for being so clever and saving the day. Well done, Pippin.